Good morning, students. Our today's topic is housekeeping supervision. The main objectives of our topic would be importance of inspection and methods of delegation. Guest room inspection, delegation of work, tangible and intangible. What is guest room inspection? Guest room inspection is basically done by the supervisors. It helps catching those areas which have been overlooked by the housemen. Inspection is done in checkout rooms that have been cleaned. Inspection is also done in vacant clear rooms, occupied rooms. Informs about the condition of room, that is its furniture, ceiling, upholstery, walls, etc. White ragging is the most common method used during inspection. Inspection checklist. Inspection checklist is a document kept in the possession of supervisor. The more detailed the checklist, the more thorough is the inspection and hence the standards of cleaning. Dirty dozen is also a type of checklist. Quick six inspections, which includes inspection of crescenda, nightstand, bed linen, vanity walls, shower walls, toilets. Crescenda and nightstand. Crescenda. Check the carpet behind the crescenda for dust thrash. Nightstand. Check the area between bedside table and bed for dust, cigarette butts, etc. This area is hidden by the bedspread and visible when the bedspread is removed. Bed linen and vanity wall. Bed linen. Check for wrinkles, stains, holes, or torn sheets, properly tucked or not, for hairs, etc. Vanity wall. Check cleanliness of wall near waste basket. The wall may have dirt or splashed with soap, water which comes in a direct view of the guest. Shower wall, toilet. Shower wall. Hard to reach and the hand glides when rubbed across due to accumulation of white soap residue. Toilet. Check the scrubbing of WC. Make a Q-tip of tissue paper and rub under the rim of WC to check the cleanliness. Delegation. By delegation we mean authorizing subordinates to make certain decisions. It means passing authority to someone who will act on behalf of the manager. Only the authority can be delegated, not the responsibility. The person being delegated is accountable, but ultimately the responsibility lies with the manager delegating. Hence, the manager will be fully responsible for the acts and decisions taken by his subordinates to whom he has delegated. Methods of delegation. By results expected. The manager simply finds out and calculates the results when a job has been done completely. By setting performance standards. The manager can give different performance ratings when a job has been done. For example, inspection checklist. The manager can declare the performance to be satisfactory when all conditions of the checklist are met. By establishing SOPs. The SOPs, that is the standard operating procedures, indicate the manner and procedure in which the tasks have to be done. It also indicates who will do, how and what has to be done to complete a task. Hence there is a delegation of appropriate tasks to people. Reasons for not delegating. A manager is not able to understand his role. Newly appointed managers are promoted. Little expertise or no expertise in a new role. No training given before giving a new position. So managers love to perform the job physically. Managers perform work physically. He will not be able to take management decisions. Reasons for not delegating. Incompetent managers fear that they will be outperformed by others. Manager's ability in getting things done rather than doing work by himself. Fear factor in mind that he will be outperformed by others and their incompetence magnified. Some managers feel delegation depends on the situation. Reasons for not delegating. Lack of confidence in the employees, hence a feeling that if he does not do the work himself, the work will not be done properly. Tangible and intangible. Tangible is something you can see, touch, or feel. Others get a full view of these items. Intangible is not anything you can see, touch, or feel. It is a concept, an idea, but nothing that can you physically see. Hope you have enjoyed the lecture. Thank you.